Em junho de 2020, nós, da família Remate no Brasil, batemos o nosso recorde histórico de faturamento. Em julho, batemos novamente o recorde, superando junho em mais de 35%. E aí chegou o mês de agosto, e pela terceira vez consecutiva, batemos novamente nosso recorde histórico. Já estamos vivendo nosso melhor trimestre da história e juntos chegaremos a números jamais vistos. Tudo isso com ética, parceria, resiliência, comprometimento e muito foco. Sigamos firmes e fortes, atingindo nossos objetivos, ajudando os nossos clientes a atingirem os deles. This is Peixoto, Accyoli, CEO of Remax Brazil, and we are very happy to promote the second edition of Real Estate World Connection. So we are very, very happy with good friends from other countries, and but I would like to share with you the main objectives that we have. The first one is to understand the trends in the real estate market from now on. The second one, to know about the strategic plans of important players in the real estate market worldwide and the leaders in their countries. So we divided this event in 4 parts. The first one, the guest will have 2 minutes to present themselves and their company to us. After that, in part 2, the speakers will present what have been the changes provoked by COVID-19, overall, how Remax achieved so many positive results during the pandemic. So we will have for each speaker 9 minutes. After that, in the part 3, the speakers will have 9 minutes to present their vision on what the trends in this final period, I hope, final period of COVID-19 and the trends after that. We know that the vaccine, it's coming. We had some problems with the Oxford vaccine, but I hope we have success very, very fast. In the final part, the speakers will have 3 minutes to give 3 tips for the agents and brokers to be successful. So I'm gonna give you an idea. Send for your friends WhatsApp, message, email, because this Real Estate World Connection second edition will be amazing. We have 5 guys here. That's amazing. That's amazing. You will love them. I'm sure about it. So we have many countries here watching us. So people from Mexico, people from. I'm gonna have my team here. How many countries? So 15 countries until now. It's present in our event. So I will start with Mr. Sergio Felgueres. My friend from Mexico. Sergio, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Peixoto. Thank you for inviting me. As always, you always make the best events. 15 countries in just one small screen. I think it's very impressive what you guys are doing. Well, my name is Sergio Felgueres. I'm the managing partner and operations director of Remax in Mexico. We have 125 franchises in the country, and we manage over 2,000 agents in all of Mexico. I am very, very tech focused person. I love technology, and I love what real estate can do with technology. I think now is one of the most important and exciting times for our industry, because my two passions are merging, and I think that's huge for Remax and for everyone that is involved in the real estate business. So I just wanted to let you know about that. I'm kind of a nerd, kind of a geek. So if I start talking about Star Wars or that kind of stuff, you guys will understand, because I'm nerdy like that, and I love how things are shaping in the real estate industry.
Great, Sergio. I made a mistake. It's not 15. It's 32 countries. People from 32 countries was registered, and in few minutes we will know how many countries are watching us. Just please put your name if you are in the YouTube English channel. Put your name and your country, and then if you are in Brazil, in the Portuguese in translation version, please put your name in your state. Let's see how many people from how many countries and how many states from Brazil are watching us. So the second, my friend Donatien from France. I tell you one thing, my people. I was trying to understand how I need to pronounce the name Donatien from France.
Yeah, that's good.
Hello,
everyone. Yes, that's fine. Thank you very much, Peixoto. That's a big honor for me to be there and to share this event with you. So thank you. So my name is Donatien Dumontier. I'm the regional owner and director of Remax France. I'm 42 and I live in Paris. So 6 years ago, with my friend and partner, Thomas, we from scratch began to develop first of all Paris, then 1/3 of France, and since 1 year and a half we developed all France in partnership with Manuel and Beatrice, who are running also quite successfully Remax Portugal, and also one part of Remax Brazil. So we are quite new in France, but as often with Remax, the growth is exponential. So I'm glad to announce that last week we reached a new milestone, 600 agents. 1 year ago, we reached the milestones of 300. And 2 years ago, in September, it's what, 150. So two years in a row, we double the number and the size of the network. So we are very happy for that. And I guess that proves that even with dramatic events, there is always an opportunity to grow, and we should focus on that.
Great job. And Manuel and Beatriz, they are amazing. How many agents they have in Portugal, do you know?
I guess it's between 8,000 and 9,000. I guess they are close to 9,000 now.
Oh my gosh. They're amazing. They're amazing. So thank you, Donatien. So the next guest is my friend Tamul from Mongolia. So Tamul, first thing, what time is in Mongolia now?
It's actually 8 p.m.
Great, 8 p.m. So good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone from Mongolia.
Thank you. Okay, hello, everyone. My name is Timurlen Kambolt. You can just call me Tom, much easier. I'm the CEO of Remax Mongolia. We actually opened in 2015, 5 years ago. So in October 2nd, it's our 5-year anniversary. Right now, we actually have almost 700 agents. And, just today, a few hours ago, we signed the 49th office. So we're about to reach that 50 milestone I think in middle of this month. So it's been 5 years with Remax, and in like 2015, it was, it was actually not that good here in Mongolia, the economy and everything. It's almost the same situation as right now, like in COVID-19, because, the one of the bad effects of COVID-19 is the economy downfall. So we faced the same situation back in 2015. So it's not it's actually, the economy one is not something new to us. So we're actually doing really great this year. We actually we're about to sell like 10 franchise this year. I think I met like 200 people in terms of like franchise prospects. In terms of agents also, it's been, growing really fast. Every month we've been training like 50 to 60 agents, new agents. So the 2020, it's really bad for most of the businesses, but again, in real estate market, it was not bad.
Great, Timur. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. So we have people watching us from Angola, Argentina, Los Hermanos Argentinos, Aruba, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Egito, India, Colombia, Japan, Mexico, Korea, Holland, Turkey, Italy, Dominican Republic, in US. Oh my gosh, people around the world. So good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon. That's great. Thank you. So let's talk with my friend Khaled from Egypt.
Hi, everybody. I guess I should say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Peixoto, thank you so much for inviting me for this. Happy to be here with my friends from Mexico, France, Mongolia, and certainly America, and you guys in Brazil. Very quickly, my name is Khaled Nasser. I founded Remax in Egypt about 8 years ago, and we started operating our first offices. They opened doors in the early 2013, so half years by now. Most recently, actually hit our 50th office milestone, so we're just one step ahead of you, Temulin. We're about 750 in network now in total. And also recently, as we grew within the country in Egypt, and we are the largest sales force on the ground, despite the fact that we still consider ourselves in toddler stage, and we're still want to grow a lot more than what we are right now. But compared to the competition, we are considered the #1 brand right now and the biggest sales force in the country. Most recently, also we've bought Remax in the UAE, and we've just established our office, our headquarters in Dubai, and we will also be developing that country, hopefully fast enough as well.
Great, thank you, Khaled. And now I have an honor to ask for my friend and the legend, one of the legend of Remax, the guy that start Remax with Mike, with Mr. Liniger, my friend Mike Reagan. It's a pleasure to have you here, my friend. Please introduce yourself.
Peixoto, thank you very much. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's a little after 6 a.m. here in Denver, Colorado, but honored to be with you. I'm Mike Reagan. I'm Senior Vice President of Global Growth and Development and also Industry Relations for Remax. And I always like to include in my introduction that I started when Remax was 17 years old. I started in 1990, so I just celebrated my 30th anniversary. But when I started, there were about 17,000 agents in 2 countries. And the founders, Dave and Gail Liniger, not only had a dream, they had a vision, a plan, and a path for success. And I asked Dave in the very beginning, what are we going to do here? What's Remax all about? And he said, very simply, we are going to change the way that real estate is done in the world. And of course, I meant that, I saw that as growth, and we're going to, grow to other countries and this type of thing. But what that really meant is in every aspect of our business, we work for our associates, our regional leaders, our, the different countries. Here we are today in more than 110 countries, 130,000 agents, in over 8,000 offices. So yes, it's been fun to watch, have a front row seat of this over the years, but the impact of never letting up. And Remax was the Remax model was really created with the future in mind, to be able to pivot in time of crisis. You know, in 47 years, we faced about every situation possible and never let up. And still here we are coming out of COVID with strong leadership around the world. It's an honor to be with these guests today and to know what Remax folks are doing around the world. So thank you for the invitation. I wish we were there live. I was with you last year, Peixoto. We had a wonderful experience there in Sao Paulo. But what's fun for us is be able to hear from people in the Remax community around the world and share those ideas. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike. So if you are watching us, please put in the comments how many people are watching with you, because I know that we have a lot of people that is in the office watching with the group. So please do it. So the second round, we will have 9 minutes to talk about change. So what changes were provoked by COVID-19, and overall, how did Remax achieve so many positive results? To talking just a little bit from Brazil and about Brazil, we broke 3 records in June and July and August. We are very afraid with the healthy, with the people, but we decided in the first moment that we are not in lockdown. We just changed the way to talk with the market, as our friend Bernard told. And one thing that was very important is, since US, when we was in US in the convention, we had meetings with Shona, with Mike, with Ian, with the other CEOs of Remax, talking about COVID. So we have a committee, crisis committee. So we were very prepared when the COVID arrives in Brazil. I think this helped a lot. To be a worldwide company helped a lot for we through the COVID-19 crisis. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, Shona. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everyone from Remax LLC that helped a lot Remax Brazil and all Remax around the world. So to talk about what changes were provoked by COVID and overall, how did Remax achieve so many positive results, I would like to ask for my friend Sergio Felgueres to talk about this subject. 9 minutes, Sergio. Your sound, something.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so for us in Mexico, it was a big challenge as everywhere else. We were coming from an economy, like we just changed governments, and we were coming for a very slow economy. So the biggest challenge that we faced right at the beginning was the attitude of the agents and brokers and the clients, because everybody was very afraid of their health, but also about their financial needs, right? So right at the beginning, we began on stepping out and having a different attitude than the attitude of many other real estate companies. I think most of them began with fear. They didn't know what to do. And fortunately for us, we had all of this support that you were talking, Peixoto. We had Remax International started to create meetings with all the owners of the different regions to see how we could all achieve better results and help our clients. So our attitude became that we were going to focus on our agents and franchises needs before anything else. We didn't care about money. We didn't care about sales. We didn't care about anything. We just wanted them to survive. So I remember this, I read an article from Mark Cuban that said that whatever you do during this pandemic, was going to define your brand for the next 5 years. So I remember at that time, I think Starbucks closed many stores. Some other companies started to fire people, and we took a stance and said that we were not going to fire anyone, and that we were going to end up just as we started. Like we wouldn't let anyone fall behind. So that was the entire attitude and that the entire Remax in Mexico took on. And then I remember one of these meetings that you were talking about with Global. I remember Dario from Remax Italy. He showed us a program. He was a few months before our time when the COVID hit in Mexico. He told us that he was going to create this digital solidarity program where they were going to share all of their training to the rest of the agents. And we thought that was a great idea. So we learned about it and we created our own digital solidarity program. We created an entire online platform for independent agents, regardless of their brand, their associations, whatever, and just open it up to everyone. We called it Solidaridad Digital. And this gave us the first step of what was going to come. Because after that, we focused on sharing everything that we learned in those meetings. We heard about many different leaders all around the world, and everything we were sharing it with the entire industry in Mexico. So everybody started talking about Remax as how we were reaching out to everyone to help them out, and that really helped us out. Another thing that led to some records that I'll talk to you about in the end is that Remax Latin America, we became really united. Thanks to Gustavo Caricote, who is our leader in the entire region. He created these meetings where they were actually very fun because the only requirement to be in the meeting was that you had to have a glass of wine, and we were going to talk about how to do the same thing, but for Remax Latin America. And it has been the best board of counseling that we have ever had, because it's directors and that are in countries that have the same issues that we have right now. So we started also to learn and to share what we were doing. And this has led to many things. We now created the Remax Latin America University that has helped us also to grow and have a lot of content that we are sharing.
So Sergio, we have the University of Remax LLC. We have University of Remax Mexico, Brazil, Egypt, Mongolia, France. We have now the Remax University Latin America. So
Latin America, yes. Avi Maril, who is the director and owner of Remax in Peru, he has been leading. He's the leader of this project, and I think he has done a really great job. After that, we started creating master classes to recruit. We did many different events using technology to start doing this. But the most important thing was the word of mouth marketing that we created, because we were sharing what we knew in Remax to the rest of the industry for free. So that really became something very powerful for us. Right now, as you said, in Mexico, obviously as the pandemic came in, the numbers dropped. May, April were really bad. But now June was 60% over the top than the best of any month in Mexico. And then July exceeded 30% above that. And I think that was the result of taking quick actions, of learning from a network that we had and applying things. And I think the most important thing that we did was to share with every agent in Mexico, regardless of the brand or their associations. Now everyone wants to come to Remax and wants to work with us because they know that we have quality training, we have quality of technology, and we have somehow, I think they think that we are very good human beings, because at the times that were most difficult for everybody, we went on and started to help the industry. So now we are in a very good spot here in Mexico. Clients trust us a lot. The rest of the agents want to do business with us, or they want to come to Remax. And I think this pandemic, you could see it in a very good way or a very bad way. And for us, I think it's a very good way, because we started with the right attitude to begin with.
Great. Thank you, my friend Sergio. And I have to tell you that I'm a big fan of Remax Mexico. You are very human. You know, you like people, you love people, you love stay with people. The people are the priority. So that's very important. So
That's
my
what
friend,
it's all about, I think.
yeah, it's true. So we have 39 countries, and I need to tell that we have US Virgin Island, Ukraine, Turkey, El Salvador, Sweden, Romania, Philippines, Nicaragua, Namibia, Sri Lanka, India, Indonesia, Switzerland, Aruba, Australia, Angola, Italy, United Kingdom, Panama, Netherlands, Japan, Ecuador, Colombia, Bolivia, Argentina, South Korea, United Arab Emirates, Dominican Republic, Chile, Canada, Venezuela, Peru, Portugal, Mongolia, United States, Paraguay, Egypt, Mexico, and Brazil. So, welcome everybody. Jonathan, let me know what change were provoked by COVID-19. What difference you saw during this period?
Yeah. So actually, first of all, the situation in France was not really good before, because there was a yellow jacket last year. Then we had 2 months of strike in December and January against the government, against reforms. So we were hoping to have something smoothly in 2020. But what was the COVID-19 and the lockdown? For me, it was a kind of real stress test. Is your business model strong to be able to survive for that? And do you have the good fundamentals? And actually, yes, Remax has very good fundamental, and especially for crisis. And so during the 2 months of lockdown, we signed 2 new franchise. We open virtually 5 new offices, and we recruit 42 agents. So we grow by 10% during the lockdown, and that's based about I guess on the DNA of Remax. I guess we are really a business of people, and the DNA of Remax is that we are all independent, but we are working all together as a family. What I mean by that is that I guess that at all level, and I'm very thankful for what done Remax LLC, also all our friends and regional director, but also our broker and our agent, is that nobody was waiting to have an answer from outside. Everybody was thinking, okay, that's my business. There is a crisis. In any crisis, there is opportunity. So what can I do to move forward? And on top of that, we benefit from the experience of others. Especially, I'm very thankful for Dario, because he was in front line in Italy. And the lockdown in Italy was only 5 days before France and Spain. So very close. But even before, because he provided us a lot of information, he shared during meetings what happened. That gave us the opportunity to know in advance, 1 week in advance, what will happen. And 1 week is a lot during a crisis. I remember, for example, that the weekend before, on Sunday, before the lockdown, Italy was already in lockdown, and we had already some information from Italy, and we thought that it would happen. So with my partner, Thomas, we spent all the day calling every single broker of our network. It was 42 calls. We began at 10 a.m. We finished at 7 p.m. calling everybody and just knowing caring about them, knowing if they are ready for probably what will happen. And we did a lot of things, very basics, but very fundamental. And the best way to have that is to have the feedback from others. You know, a lot of people were trying different things. I guess Sergio said something very right. We should, during crisis, focus on people, not on money, but on people first. And then that's able us to grow. That first of all is caring about people. And so what we did is what we did with our broker, what we asked our broker to do with their agents. And it's what we ask our agents to do with their seller and their buyer is first of all, communicate, taking care of people, just knowing how they are, how they feel, keep in communication, and stay focused on what they can control and what they can change. During crisis, there was a lot of information. The feed of information we had was, wow, too long, too much. And so the best thing was to focus on our business, for, what we can do. So, for example, based on what Italy did on day one of the lockdown and during all the day of the lockdown, we create what we call a Remax on speaker. It was a half-an-hour session live every day. We did 35 sessions during the 2 months of lockdown. And it was just sharing how agents, our brokers, should do, what they should not do because it was not the right time, but and focus about training. We were not allowed to sell real estate, but we were able to prepare the future. We know from the beginning that we will not be in lockdown forever. So the point was to train people, and we put many new online training from the region, but also inside each office. And so obviously March and April and May were not good because we're not able to have cash from our buyer and sellers. But June was the best month ever in France, and July also. And it seems that August will be very, very good too. So that proves that we can work for the future. And one thing we say to our network on day one was remember that reputation is creating during crisis, not when everything is smooth. It's during crisis. So we told them, now focus on what will be your business in 6 months. And if you stay at home and you don't work, and some network was locked down their activity for 2 months, for example. And I think it was the worst idea ever. We work much than ever during the lockdown, but it's because of that we create this family idea and relationship, and it's also based on that we were able to grow after. So we did a lot of things like that. We create a lot of new things, like I said, online training. I made a lot of breakfasts with agents all over France, something I would never be able to do before, because it's difficult to do 10 hours of travel just to say hello or take a coffee. But during the lockdown, a lot of brokers create a coffee meeting in the morning. And so sometime Thomas, me, we were going to this meeting by Zoom and just introducing ourselves, sharing ideas with the agent. And so it was a very, very good way to create relationship and to be good for the future.
Great, thank you, Nanette. And one thing that's important, when the pandemic starts, everyone start to use Zoom, for example, and we use Zoom since the beginning. I think it's for years. So they start to make an online course, online training. We do it since, I don't know, 1973. It's a long time ago we started with online training. So we were prepared with the technology to support our agents, our brokers, the regional owners. That's one thing that was great. So we didn't start in the beginning of the pandemic, when the start of the pandemic. We start decades ago when we launched the satellite. That's great. So I would like to hear from Tamil. What changes did you have in Mongolia, and how will you work with that?
All right. First of all, I need to explain a little bit more about Mongolia. We have about 3 million people. The overall population is very small, and half of the population lives in the capital city, which is called Ulaanbaatar, which translates to Red Hero. The COVID-19 actually started its effect from the January. The worst month was, I believe, was March, which we actually attended R4, and we tried to get back home, and everyone went crazy. Everything went into chaos. We tried to get back to Korea, but then again, the borders were closed, and we went to Russia and then back to Mongolia. So it was a long trip, and went back home, and we got quarantined for like 20 days or something. So all I can say is that we adapted to the pandemic. It was thanks to Remax LSC and everyone around the world. They were sharing their best practices every week. They gave us hints. Some people might say it's a small hint, but again, it was game changer. Call everyone, show them that you care about them, reach out to them, and every advice was really crucial for our business. So after March, what we actually did was, one of the things that there was Mike Reagan and everyone, Jan, Shauna, everyone told us that, I think it was a word from Israel. He actually said that, there are two ways to overcome like pandemic or economic crisis. one, you can be defensive, other, you can be offensive. So what we did was we tried to be offensive. Just after the very first LSC meeting, we did the broker owners Zoom meeting. Like I think it was we went into lockdown for about 2 months, and it was just the starting week of the lockdown, and we actually told our broker owners the same thing. You know, everyone will be defensive. Everyone will be cutting their marketing costs. You know, firing people. You know, closing down their offices and everything. But we told them, we actually, you know, told them that we have to be, you know, aggressive as we can. So, you know, everything changed. We embraced technology. Even when I was in quarantine, it was just one room with, you know, bathroom and nothing else. I called my wife to get my notebook, and I did like, we actually, one of the things I have to explain is that we are, I believe, very few regions that do the new agent training from the regional head office. So what we did was we maintained the normal operation of Remax Mongolia. We, you know, made the new agent training into 100% virtual. So I am actually one of the, you know, presenters and teachers in the class. So I actually did like 1 day whole training in the quarantine room, which is actually isolated. It's almost like a hospital. So, you know, it was a crazy experience that we were in. We maintained normal operations. And I believe the next month after March, we actually did the very first online real estate forum. It's like a same thing like this, but again, it was like more entertaining. It shows that we're not closing down, we're not stopping, or we're not slowing down. So we told everyone in the country that we are open to business. You know, we're doing everything we can. You know, we're embracing the technology, and we actually give advices to broker owners, agents, that, you know, you can sell houses or rent virtually. So we actually saw an article from Remax LLC that very first office in United States has closed like virtual transactions. So that inspired us to, you know, give instructions on how to sell properties virtually. So we gave them every possible way to sell properties. So it has actually really affected our business. Really in a good way. It was really a good embracement from ourselves, the technology. You know, I remember very first time we did the you know, weekly Zoom meeting with the Remax LLC, and everyone's saying that, you know, why didn't we do this before? So this is like the thing we, you know, recognized. You know, we can be hybrid, right? You know, we can be electric or we can be like fuel driven. So we try to adapt, and I think that was one of the best thing that affected our business. Last month, August, was all-time high sales for our region in all time. It was like 53 billion Turk, which is a Mongolian currency. It translates into like 27 million US dollar worth of sales. It's not big comparing to the United States or other region, but again, we only have like 3 million people. So it was huge sales. Last month was also, in terms of numbers, it was the biggest number. We closed like 1,100 transactions in the whole region. So yeah, it was our people who adapted the technology. They used Zoom, they used every technology. Like we even, a lot of people have been using drones to like, you know, shoot the advertisement and then put the drones back into their house when they were in quarantine, and use the tape as the, you know, marketing and, you know, social media and everything. We had trainings every like, it's like we kind of copied Remax LLC. We did the weekly meetings and monthly meetings with our broker owners. Yeah, that was one of the biggest, effects of the COVID-19. I think it changed how we saw technology. We only saw technology as a small tool that can, improve our business, but it was not just tool. It was, way we, in the future, it's the way we do business. So, I want to be a friend with Sergio, because I try to be a geek myself. I try to be tech savvy, but this is the thing that we have to embrace. We have to adapt to technology, and result comes.
That's great. Thank you, Tamul. So,
Thanks.
Khaled, first of all, what time is in Egypt now?
Right now it's 2:45 p.m.
2:45 p.m. All right. So, what change were provoked by COVID-19, Khaled? Let me know the overview of Egypt. How the people bought their house. How things works in the real estate market in Egypt, and how the things works with Remax agents and brokers.
Well, first of all, you're getting my name pronounced much better now, Peixoto. So I should
I'm
congratulate
learning.
you. Yeah. Well, just like everybody else, I mean, we've had a major challenge in the country throughout COVID, and but generally speaking, our market is quite a large market. We're 100 million in population here in Egypt. The way real estate is done has so many challenges. It is cash driven. We don't have much mortgage in the country. So real estate transactions are all based on cash payments. So it makes resale market quite a challenging market to work on. There's a lot of new developments where the builders themselves, they do the installments directly with the buyers. So it's like the very, very old days in certain countries in the Western Europe. However, and the buying power actually in Egypt is quite low. We have a very high percentage of poverty in the country. So the percentage of the population that has the financial capabilities to do real estate transactions are obviously a smaller percentage of the country. Now, when COVID hit us back in the beginning of March, obviously it was a challenge for us, just like everybody else around the world. And we have, at that time, we started thinking, what do during COVID time to minimize the losses? And also, what do we do so we can ramp up our production as soon as this COVID situation passes? Obviously, one of the biggest concerns at the time really is the uncertainty of the situation. It's just the fact that we're all locked in at home, and we're just not sure how long would this take, and how far can my cash flow sustain the situation. And so we just wanted to address the more important let's say, the more important activities to minimize the damage throughout COVID, and also maximize the bounce back after the pandemic situation, or the lockdown, I should say. So fundamentally, we look at the business in general as a region, as a function of, our production is a function of the total number of agents in our company times the average production per agent. To any of our offices, also they would look at the same for their business, and the agent himself or herself would obviously look at his business as the average income that goes to him or to her. Now, so for us, we just wanted to put focus on this formula so we can minimize the situation, the negatives of the pandemic, and also how we can bounce back. So the first thing we focused on, just like everybody spoke, actually, Sergio and Tamulan and Donatien spoke, the first thing we focused on was communication. And the communication was cascaded, obviously, from Remax LLC to us as regional directors. We were talking amongst each other to try to share experiences together and come up with ideas to pass the situation. And from us, our broker owners, and broker owners to agents, and also agents to customers. Customers themselves also had a lot of confusion during these times. So communication was one of the most important factors to for information to pass by and for people to have some clarity on ideas to get by the situation, and also understanding of ways to get out of this. And at the same time, also, it's an emotional treatment, where you feel I'm not alone in this, it's just everybody around the world is in this with me as well. So it kind of just also managed the emotions of the agents and office owners to get by the situation. The second thing we obviously had to stress on, just like the world, was technology. When we're all locked in, obviously the first golden ticket for everyone to get some business going was rely more on technology throughout the past while. So all our training programs have gone on technology, showings of the agents to the customers have gone on technology, communication, videos, so many things have gone on technology to be able to at least keep transferring the information from us to the agents and the office owners, and also from the agents and offices to the consumers. Training and coaching was COVID time, just like Sergio was saying, you can look at it as a problem, or you can look at it as a great time to invest in important things. And obviously, training and coaching was one of the most important pillars of our COVID investment, where we spent a lot of time coaching and training office owners, agents, because at least if people people within the company, if they don't feel that they're investing their time enough to produce income, at least they are investing to develop themselves. And it's a way for them to also see some light at the end of the tunnel, and think of new solutions where that when they come back to the market, they come back stronger to the market. So training was key. And also COVID and lockdown time was fantastic for recruitment. We spent a lot of time for recruitment, whether recruiting new brokers to the company or recruiting agents to our offices. So we spent time with our offices doing career nights, doing because everybody was all had the time to explore options, like other agents in other companies. They had time to explore options in their careers post the pandemic situation. So to conclude, basically, we've this slump in our sales, significant slump, obviously, throughout, specifically April and May, in our company sales. And then going out of April and May, we've bounced back about 8% of our sales volume. So let's say January, February, actually we had one of the highest selling period in our, since ever we started actually the company. January and February were two of the highest months ever. And then we go into pandemic situation. We dropped about maybe 65 to 70% of the sales volume. We lost that. And then we started bouncing back 80% in June. And then going into July and August, we surpassed our numbers, our usual numbers. So if we take year to date of this year to date 2020, we have done, despite the drop of COVID and loss of time in COVID throughout specifically March, April, and May, we have done about 95% of our sales of year to date in 2019, January to August. So we have between January, February, and July, and August, June, July, August specifically, actually, we have recovered a lot of our sales volume because of all the actions we were able to take throughout March, April, and May to manage the situation.
All right. Thank you, Khaled.
You're welcome.
So we have many friends here. We have my dear friend, Michelle Goldbridge. She's watching us all the time. She's with us. Michelle Goldbridge is almost Brazilian. She's almost Brazilian. So my friend Camille Moray, many friends from other countries, and a lot of people from Brazil, and people in Brazil like my friend here telling us that today is the birthday of Adam's birthday. So Castione from Rio Grande do Sul is remember that Adam Contos is today is his birthday. So congratulations, Adam. So now we have our friend Mr. Mike Reagan to talk first to tell us the overview of all the worldwide. Tell us, Mike Reagan.
Yeah, well, thanks, Peixoto. And it's a tough act to follow these gentlemen because they did have many great ideas. But, you know, something that you mentioned, Peixoto, is RE/MAX really has been preparing for this crisis, whether it's COVID-19 or others, for all 47 years, because we're the type of company that the foundation of the business model was so strong that, you know, we faced really every kind of economic setback, political setback, you know, government, whatever it might be. As I mentioned, you know, 30 years ago when I started and we sort of had this dream of a global network, most people said, well, you know, this does pretty well in Colorado or might work in the US, but I just don't think the RE/MAX is going to work, you know, outside the US. Of course, we started in Canada. We've been #1 there for many years. And here we are working in over 110 countries. So the model certainly is not only resilient, but it's always looking forward. And that's because of the people. Jan Ripa shared a great quote early on in the pandemic period. And the quote was, "How you choose to see the world determines the world that you see." And what we learned early on, and all of these folks referenced our weekly calls with our region leaders and leaders around the world, so many great ideas were shared in these conversations, and it created a sense of community that they build trust with each other because they could share challenges, ideas. We were scared. It was the unknown. There was so much, people were overwhelmed with information. You know, some of the folks mentioned early on that they said to their agents, turn off the news, don't read the newspaper. We'll have a daily video and we'll give you updates on the industry. You know, people forget that early on, real estate in a lot of markets was not considered essential. And one of the first steps we did, Adam Contos, our CEO, generated a letter, a template, if you will, that was shared around the world and provided guidance to our region leaders to be able to talk to government officials and say, look, real estate is essential. It's an essential business to the economy, and it's even more essential to those families that do have to make a real estate transaction regardless of the situation in the world. So I think the way we looked at it was we certainly wanted to take action quickly. And, fortunately, we were able to provide Zoom to every RE/MAX office in the world. We created these different communities that met online. I think starting around March 17th, we met every Thursday morning at 6 a.m. So yes, we had to get up early here in Colorado, but Europe calls at 4 a.m. on Tuesday. And so many, not only business changing concepts, but relationship building ideas that were exchanged. And just to share a couple fun things that we heard about was early on, it was, let's talk to our agents and make sure they're healthy, their families are okay, and they're adjusting to the lockdown. But then they talked about, okay, now how do we keep our business going? And the idea started to focus on, how do you show a home when you can't physically be there? Murat in Turkey shared a video with us where they not only had a drone to show the home, they actually flew the drone inside the home to tour the home. So a whole new spin on virtual tours. But our people adapted technology and moved it into their business model, communicating with families. One of the things that we found out very, very early on was to show compassion to our agents, to our brokers, to our leaders, and to the consumers, because each family was facing a very unique situation. They had to adapt to homeschooling. Now, not only was there one home office, there needed to be maybe 2 or 3 home offices, plus entertainment centers and things like this. So families were going through major adjustments. But from LLC point of view, we knew that leadership had to be visible to our associates. So some of the things we did early on, we created a program that's on now every other Tuesday called Good Morning RE/MAX. It's a Facebook Live program that we're able to bring leaders from literally around the world to share expertise and guidance and insight. Just recently here, we were able to have the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Secretary Carson, was on. Last week was the Chief Economist for National Association of Realtors. Absolutely critical information for our network to hear, not just from us, but leading industry experts that can provide inside guidance and so on. But it also, as I'm sure everybody has seen, some of the challenges we're seeing in a lot of cities in the U.S. and a lot of unrest, a lot of protests, this type of thing. What that has done is really put a focus back on fair housing. That, the U.S. average, I think, is about 63% home ownership, across the board. But many market segments, home ownership is quite a bit under that. So it's escalated a view of fair housing, at every economic level for our agents to be able to work with everyone that has a dream of home ownership. A couple other programs that came out. Adam Contos, we'll tell him happy birthday later, but he created a weekly program called Mind, Body, and Business. And this was his way to say, you have to take care of yourself first, then your family, then your business. And really some of the ideas that were shared was focused on training, education on demand. Nick Bailey had a great comment early on. He said, a lot of agents are at home cleaning out their closets, when reality, you should be cleaning out your database, improving your listing, improving your online presence. Look at yourself through the eyes of a consumer. What do they see online? How do they see your brand? You are the RE/MAX brand. And I can tell you, one of the things I've learned over the 30 years, that it's so critical that each of us, it's easy to say, well, you're an ambassador of the brand. But the reality is you have to find a way to personalize the brand. In the case of RE/MAX, we have lots of ambassadors around the world, but each of us is unique. And that's how your customers are going to see you. It's, and all of our folks that talk about technology is you don't give up the technology. The role of an agent is more critical now because relationships are built on trust. And I think adapting to technology certainly helps you build your portfolio to better serve the customer. But it's still absolutely critical, the role of an agent that has with a family, to build that trust and be that sort of that advisor, that guidance counselor, if you will, because most people forget that when you come into a family's life during a real estate transaction, it could be one of the most emotional times, even without the pandemic, emotional times that a family faces. Maybe it's something wonderful that's happened with a new baby or a marriage or, you know, a retirement for a second home. But also you come into a family's life with challenges, maybe the loss of a family member, a job, or economic change in the family. So it is so critical that you understand your role, not only how you personalize the brand, but you listen, you focus, you make that customer feel like they're the only person you talk to. And that applies whether your customer is a real estate client, an agent, a broker, a regional leader. And that's how we try to approach it, because the RE/MAX model is strong. But I'll close with this. The most important lesson we learned, that everybody in our network was able to pivot their business. You know, if you owned a hotel, you couldn't adapt to be in another business. You were in a hotel business. But in real estate, we learned all of these different tips and tricks and ideas that were shared to be able to pivot our business to better serve our customer. So thank you.
Amazing, Mike, amazing. So we have now 45 countries. We have Spain, France, Ireland, German, Costa Rica, Croatia, and the other 39 that I told. Great, amazing. And a lot of people from Brazil. So now we will do a break, but before that, I would like to tell you that is watching us, things that's very important. After the break, we will have strategies, trends, so very important tips for you that is watching us. So in 10 minutes, we will be back. The other thing is, if you put some post in Facebook or Instagram, please put at RE/MAX BR and at Peixoto Accyoli, because I would like to repost with RE/MAX Brazil and my profile as well. So my friends, now is, let me see, 10:07 in Brazil, and we will have 10 minutes break just to stretch our legs. Please everyone be back on time for the second part of our event. So in 10 minutes, we will be back. Take care. Em junho de 2020, nós, da família RE/MAX no Brasil, batemos o nosso recorde histórico de faturamento. Em julho, batemos novamente o recorde, superando junho em mais de 35%. E aí chegou o mês de agosto, e pela terceira vez consecutiva, batemos novamente nosso recorde histórico. Já estamos vivendo nosso melhor trimestre da história e juntos chegaremos a números jamais vistos. Tudo isso com ética, parceria, resiliência, comprometimento e muito foco. Sigamos firmes e fortes, atingindo nossos objetivos, ajudando os nossos clientes a atingirem os deles.
Casa trabalho, casa restaurante, casa academia, casa escola, casa comunidade, casa mundo. Nesse momento, nossa casa é tudo que a gente tem, literalmente. E nós, que gostamos de contato real, estamos passando por momentos bem difíceis. Mas na real, momentos difíceis nos fortalecem. Já superamos barreiras no passado. Por que agora seria diferente? Aproveite esse tempo para refletir e cuide daqueles que mais importam, nossa família. Agora é a hora de nos unir ainda mais. O momento pede conexão. Convide pessoas para encontros reais no mundo virtual. Tente manter uma rotina saudável para a sua cabeça e o seu corpo. E lembre-se, você não está sozinho. Enquanto lá fora vivemos incertezas, crie seu mundo dentro de casa.
Yeah, so I know he's your friend and everything, but don't you think we should have an experienced agent from Remax or something?
We're not just using him because he's my friend. He's a genius. Here he is.
It's hot. Didn't you
Hey,
say?
buddy.
Didn't you say 2 o'clock or
No, 4.
4?
Yeah, I was just telling her what a genius you are, man.
Guilty.
Yeah. Any questions, any advice? Right here.
Yeah?
That's right.
Yeah, isn't this the guy that decided to put an entire Christmas tree into the fireplace?
Oops.
Yeah, they probably should have just used a few branches.
Or some firewood.
Yeah, this, the genius that decided kite surfing in a hurricane was a good idea?
You know that video has 1 million views now?
No kidding.
It does.
You guys ever eat up here? Best restaurant in town.
Looks like it's closed.
Yeah, the health department shut it down last week.
Okay. First house I want to show you guys. Let's take a right up here on this road. This right here.
Sweetie, that's the turn right there.
That one.
You just missed the turn.
When we first pursued looking at changing from one brokerage to the other, my comment was, there has to be a purpose in it, and what are we looking for?
We weren't making a unilateral move. If we're going to move, we're going to go up. We're not going to go down, and we're not going to go across.
And of course, Remax came to the forefront. And the reason being, there's a great job about the branding. Everybody knows when you say Remax, it's dealing with real estate.
I think the brand does say who you are. If we're talking about the Remax brand, the actual physical logo, it's amazing on a lawn sign, on the office, and then you know exactly what we're doing inside that office. That's what that brand means.
I felt what the public wanted, the industry or profession in our neighborhood was not providing it.
We saw that the society was changing, that there was going to be new opportunities to connect with potential consumers.
We're no longer these little isolated communities. We're part of a bigger picture now. We're part of the whole global economy.
We were burning a lot of calories trying to stay at the forefront, to have that be part of our brand. We were paperless way before it was easy or convenient to be paperless, because we thought it would be beneficial to our consumer and give us, a value proposition that our competition didn't have.
The point was, we started to realize that Remax being in all the different countries of the world, with social media and the internet and the buyer changing the way they do things, if we have a seller, that's a key component. So why wouldn't you go with a brand that can get your client that exposure?
We incorporate the brand in every aspect that we do. It'd be crazy not to. But for example, in the listing presentation. In our listing presentation, we have a section on why they should choose a Remax agent. And there's a stat there on that particular part of the listing presentation that says in our marketplace, we outsell the competition. And then we explain to the client, why that might be. Is it because of the hockey boards? Is it because of the commercials? Is it because the fact that we're super well educated and we have the knowledge in our marketplace? But at the end of the day, that one particular client just cares that we outsell our competition. How that happens might even be in the side. The fact that that's how it's going to benefit them, that we sell more real estate than our competition.
The brand that I was with before, they were guessing what I did.
I used to have the other logo of our other brand on there, and I always used to get asked, every so often, "Oh, do you sell insurance?" Like, no, I don't sell insurance. I'm a realtor.
They didn't always automatically relate me to being a realtor.
And, as soon as that RE/MAX balloon went on our card, I'd hand them the card and they go, "Oh, you're a realtor." And I'm like, "Yes, finally."
So it's one hurdle you don't have to get over when you're getting into the profession. People know you're a realtor.
It's an amazing thing coming from another brand. When we got to RE/MAX, and I got my login credentials, and I logged in there and clicked on RE/MAX University, for example, it blew my mind how much information was curated there for me to help me improve my business. All that time and energy that our team was doing prior to get that information, it was just there for us. All the reasons why we moved to RE/MAX were still there, and then you added all this extra stuff, all the education, all the expertise on top of it. It's almost overwhelming how much value is there for RE/MAX agents.
The whole culture thing about RE/MAX. There is a definite culture of expectation, I think. I think we expect a lot of each other.
There is a RE/MAX agent. There is a type of person.
You're part of a bigger brand, like you are part of a community. You're part of a family. And I think you can see that evidently through RE/MAX agents across the globe.
And it's part of family, but there's an expectation that the family will help each other, we will grow together, we want everybody to succeed.
It's all that stuff. It's all that RE/MAX stuff that is part of the formula of why the brand is where it is.
I haven't seen anybody come along with a better brand.
We are back. So thank you very much again for staying with us. And now we will see the future. We will see what are the trends in the final period of COVID-19 and the trends after that. One thing we have absolutely sure, the things change. The game change. So I would like to hear from Sergio Felgueres. What do you think that change? What do you think after the vaccine arrives? What do you think about our future? What's the future of real estate? What is the future of RE/MAX?
Thank you, Peixoto. I think it's very important right now to be able to separate what is important when there is all of this noise going around. Like everybody's talking about the most obvious things, right? So obviously we are at home, we have to work at home. And in order to be able to work at home, we need to use technology. I think that's the most obvious and what we can see in the short term on our industry. But sometimes we forget about the less obvious things and the things that are more important. Technology, as you know, it's just a tool. I mean, I think there are many things that are going to change: digital contracts, Zoom meetings, hybrid usage of a realtor. There are many things like that. But you have to remember that in the end, it's like the microphone, right? So technology is just a microphone, but you are the singer, and that's what you use.
I love it. I love it.
To broadcast things, right? I think whenever we are lost, if you're, I don't know, walking in the woods or something, and you don't know where to go, you use a compass usually, right? To find the way, or if you're sailing in the sea into the unknown, you use a compass. And there are many tools around you to take you to wherever you want to go. But I think the most important thing is that the needle of your compass has to be pointing always to the needs of the customer. And not only about the customer, I think Mike Regan said it before, it's about the person and the needs of a family and the person, right? He was the same problems that we have right now, that we are working in our homes using Zoom, using technology, are the same problems that our customers, that those people are having right now. So maybe they are looking for a house with a space where they will be able to have a small classroom for the children, to have another one where they will have a small office, and they can start living a different life, right? I think it's going to change not only what we sell, but even for constructors on how they develop new houses, right? A few years ago, the biggest boom was about sharing economy, right? So they did very small apartments with many amenities that were going to be shared. Now people are scared about that. I think people are looking for better quality of life, probably get out of some cities and find a bigger space to look at, right? And technology will help us do that. I remember that Nick Bailey in the R4, in this past R4, he said that now is time not to bring the customer to the houses, but to bring the houses into the customers. And this is a huge opportunity for us because it's a very big time saver where we can show 20 different houses if we like in a matter of minutes without having to displace or to move the entire family to see it unless they actually want to see it. So there are so many new models that are only focused on technology and technology this, technology that, right? Where our model is focused on the less obvious, but the most important thing, which is the human being. And how are you going to use that technology to fulfill somebody's dream and somebody's investment? Because in the end, it's not, you're not buying shoes. I always say this to my agents, right? So I love to buy things in Amazon. Amazon right now, I don't like it anymore because my wife is spending too much money in Amazon right now. But still, it's a good way to buy things. So I purchase shoes in Amazon. It's very normal for me, and clothes and that kind of stuff. But if you ask, I don't know, a lady, if she's going to purchase a dress for a big dinner, they might purchase it through Amazon, right? But if it's their wedding dress, everything changes. The emotion comes in, and they visualize in that wedding dress, and they will never purchase a wedding dress through online. Well, maybe some of them, but it's not the usual thing that you're going to do. So it's the same thing in houses. If your compass is focused on the needs of the client, of that person, you will never go wrong. regardless of which technology you're using. The only thing that technology will help us do is to broadcast bigger and be more efficient. But we need to focus on that part. If you ask me about trends, about technology, I think digital contracts are going to be huge. I think it's going to be a very big game changer. Obviously, I think virtual tours will make very easy for the customers to get to know the house before they actually go into the more complicated part of it. And that complicated part is our job, is what we know. So the biggest challenge for a realtor right now is that they will have to know more things than the internet can give to any customer. And that's to be empathic, to know how to solve problems on the spot and to adapt, to know a lot of legal things and even taxes, how to clear the mortgage. We are this kind of director of an orchestra, right? There are many different players in our field. And we have to direct when the notary is going to sign, when the lawyer of one side is going to send the contract, when the the title insurance is going to come in. We are that person. So we have to always be more knowledgeable than the rest of the clients, because everybody will use the same technology. I mean, for many years, we have been using many different tools in order to communicate, right? First it came the letters, right? Then the fax. I never used the fax. I don't know how. I've seen them sometimes in like probably in a museum, but I don't know how to use a fax. But it's used to communicate, right? Email is changing the way that we communicate. Now WhatsApp is destroying email, and Zoom is creating a new way for us to communicate. So in the end, we need to focus on what's important, which is our client. The rest, let's learn how to use technology for our favor, but it's only a tool. It's like a hammer. You need someone to wield it. We are the wielders of that hammer. And I think that's the biggest thing. People will look for real agents that will give them real advice. And that's the biggest trend that sometimes we don't see.
You are perfectly right. And this is one thing. Before the pandemic, all the time when we go to the R4 or when we watch a video in the Remax University, every time the big masters, the top of top, talk about it. It's not a new thing for us. I love it when you said that the microphone, the technology is the microphone. We are the singers. This is perfect. Great, Sergio. So now I would like to hear from France, Mr. Donatian.
Yes, thank you, Peixoto. Yes, very interesting your point of view, Sergio. And I guess that when we're talking about trends, there are many kind of markets and what kind of trends of each market. So first of all, regarding industry or the market, we are very lucky to be in a first need business. It's something essential, which means that we are lucky not to have a crisis as big as if we were managing a restaurant or a theater. I mean, the issue is much bigger for them. So lucky we are, and we need to know that and to tell to our broker and our agents that it's something very, very good to know, and we are in a strong business because of that. Last year in France, it was the highest volume of transaction ever, quite close to 1 million transactions in all the country. This year, obviously, it will be less, but less means that it will be perhaps 800, 20% less. So I guess that a lot of activities would be very happy to have only 20 volume less on their market. And that's something we need to know. And each time prices are growing or dropping, actually the volume is the most important for us as professional. And they are quite the same from one year to another. Then if we are talking about the buyer and the seller, first of all, in France, so far, we don't have a major financial issue to buy house. Some, but not so many. And of course, there are changes on what the buyer are looking for. Like obviously, a small flat in the very center of Paris is perhaps not as good as 1 year ago. And if you have a garden now, that's gold. If you have a room lock to have an office, that's something perhaps people were not especially looking to. But now we know we can need to work from home with our children in the room next to us. And if it's not in the room and it's in the living room altogether, that's much more difficult. But all that, it's our small changes for us. And we are always focusing, as you say, on the fundamental, the needs of the buyers, the needs of the seller. We have things we change, but in the past also, and now we need to work, yes, differently, using tools like Zoom, obviously, like a digital signature, virtual visit, and there are a lot of different things we've got, and we are learning our agents that we have very technical tools to be able to visit or using drones or things like that. There is also iPhone and doing video. It's a kind of virtual visit, and it's something we will work because the goal is to able to provide more information to the buyer than internet, as Sergio said. And if you are inside a house and you make a visit by video and you are sharing that on Facebook, on things like that, you are providing so much more video information than photos that obviously it's a huge change that we have. But we still need to focus on people, and we say we are not selling real estate. We are selling project of life. That means we need to understand what are the family situation, what are their job, what they need really to help them to buy real estate. We don't sell real estate, we sell project. We sell advice to people who are buying real estate. We are not the owner. We are just people helping people to do that. So that's about buyer and seller. And I guess that there are a lot of tools, but and there is a new normal way to sell, but the fundamental is there, and the fundamental and the skill people will need and agent will need will be the same. Compassion, leadership, to be able to work with people. And that's a very good news actually for our industry, because if everything would be, if we can do everything with technology tools. That means that probably in the next years, it would be computers and robots would be able to do our job. So good news is that we have, it's an industry very complex. We need to understand people. And so it's very difficult for robots or tools to do that. They can also help us to work with people. The last trend, which is very important for us, and especially in France, it's the organization of work for agent and for broker. And you need first to know that in France, we are in a very traditional market. We're getting brokerage. That means that on average, there is 2.5 agents per office. That's the competition we have in France. A lot of small offices. And I guess that being part of, during this crisis, being part of something much bigger than us, to be in a bigger office, to be in a bigger organization, makes completely sense. And so what we see, and that's why we came with Remax, is that we see that probably in the next month and in next year, there will be an acceleration of having bigger office, because when you are alone during a crisis, that's very difficult. If you are alone inside a small office, they are not able to do the cascade we were talking earlier, to provide all the information. But if you've got trainers, if you've got coach, if you've got leaders, that makes sense. During the crisis, they are here, they stand up, and they show how to do things differently. And that's able also to see the global strategy. I know that a lot of things we learned to our agents during the Remax on Speaker were not about real estate. Not directly, I mean. It was about how to communicate, how to deal with a crisis, how to organize your work. Then sometime we were on something more technical about real estate, but most of that was based on coach from the network, or bringing people from, we had a broker from Canada, from Florida, from Los Angeles, who were sharing us ideas, but it was more about how to do during a crisis. But it could be interesting, not for real estate only, but for something much more for a lot of industries. So I think that's why we see that the work is changing in the future for France and the organization with bigger offices, and we are very happy to be part of that.
Great, Nathan, thank you. I guess 5 years ago, I was in Remax LLC doing a course called Broker 101. And I saw the new trend 5 years ago, the new trend of how to build an office. And now, I think that Remax saw the future, because I guess the new office is like a coffee shop, like Starbucks, a place for you do relationship, not like usually we see, but a place for you have, and you do relationship, you do networking, like a coffee shop, like a Starbucks, and this was 5 years ago. I have I don't know the name in English. How can I say planta? The way that you divide the room, things like that, you know. And
It's like co-working space.
yeah, croquis, yes. And I
Cafe
have
offices.
yeah, I have these, and it's funny because since I provoked some brokers to do the office like that, but now I think this is the new way of office. This one trend that I think. The other thing is, we were in the not Remax, but the real estate market was in the number 8, and then we move it to 80, and we are not, this is not normal, and this is not normal, the extreme. Now, I think we're gonna find a way in the middle of how to use technology, how to use, our offices, things like that. I don't know if I was clear, but we need to find the middle term, the middle way of life and how we will work. So, what are the trends in the final period of COVID-19 and the trends after that? Now, my friend Temulen from Mongolia.
That's actually good pronunciation.
I'm learning.
Yeah, you're learning. For me, I'm sorry, is there a background sound?
Yeah, someone is calling someone.
I think it's me, I'm sorry.
No problem.
All right. So the very first thing I want to say is that, I completely agree with everyone in this in this panel, in this conference. But I see it from a slightly different angle, which I say, I believe that, nothing will be the same again after the COVID-19. Which I'm saying is, the way of business, the human relations, those are the main things, for sure. But again, we would not be able to, travel to different countries, like in a month, travel to 10 different countries, or we do like, go meet them anywhere, however we want, how longer we want. So I believe it's going to change a little bit, because just personally, I believe that COVID-19, when we see this pandemic, it's not the worst happened. It's not the worst one. There's Black Plague, there's SARS, MERS, a lot of different viruses that actually happen to kill a lot of people, more than COVID-19. And there are a lot of different viruses, bacteria, or different illnesses around the world. It happened before. So, I believe that the technology, the communication has really gave us awareness in terms of like viruses or pandemics. And, there are a lot of different factors that, sometimes it's really a good opportunity for opportunists, because they see this as a like business. So what I'm trying to say is that, everything will be slightly different from now on. Which I'm saying is that, we have to adapt to technology, and we have to, again, use it as a tool. But, for Remax, we're always the leaders. We're always in the front. People look up to us as one of the leaders, one of the game changers. So I think that we have to use technology, or we have to change how the technology works, and use it at our advantages. The AR technology and VR technology, artificial reality and virtual reality, those are the biggest game changers. We also believe we actually introduced Matterport, which just recently integrated with the iPhone, Apple. You have to had like 360 cameras or $4,500 dollar worth of camera before, but now you can just use your own iPhone to use 360 mapping, 360 tours. So and even for the new generation, the way I see the new generation, like Gen Z, those guys are, I'm actually millennial myself. So Gen Z, those guys are really smart. And the way I see this, one of the biggest trends happened here in Mongolia was everyone was on social media. And I saw like hundreds of influencers, they call themselves influencers, but it's a good trend. People are making good use of social media, and they're trying to, do a really good PRs and online tradings and online sales. So these are like biggest trends here in Mongolia. I think this just boosted things to come. So the virus, the pandemic actually boosted tech, future that was to come in like 1 year or 2 year. So we have to adapt to that, and we need to see farther in that. Maybe in 10 years, what is going to happen? What technology are we using? There's just two options, right? Be used or use it. So, we'll have to step forward, and I think we have to integrate with tech companies. We have to be really close with, startup companies who are implementing this technology, which are really making our job much more, easier and faster and intelligent. So the way I see, like last month, we reached our all-time high sales, break a record. I think it was because of technology. A lot of agents use technology at their advantage. They used Zoom calls with, simultaneously with potential buyers, and it was almost like how do you call this? Like people betting on properties, raising the prices or something like that. So this is like more smart things that people are doing. And the good thing about Mongolia is that almost like 60% of population is under 30 years old, which means, we have
60% is under 30?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's a very young.
Very young population. So really easily adopt technology. Almost 80 to 90% of the population uses like social media. So this is a big opportunity for Mongolian market. So one of the things is that, and also I believe that leadership is changed. Leadership is changed. This is one of the biggest trend. I think it's very new to you guys, because we were actually socialist country in 1990s or 1980s. So there are a lot of people who has this technique of being boss. I think it's all around the world, right? You push your employees, whip them, try to use them or push them from behind. So this has changed during the last few months, because there are almost, I believe, 60,000 people are unemployed for the last 6-7 months here in Mongolia. And almost 100 average per 100 agents came into Remax Mongolia, into the training. So, which means that people see it as opportunity, right? People want to be together, be with people they like, People want to be with leaders, not bosses. So, they want to see leadership. They want to see trainings. They want to see people who are, close to them, to carry them or lead them to success. So leadership is changed dramatically here in Mongolia. A lot of, as I said, traditional companies are closed, and people coming to Remax. So this was actually one of the big opportunity for our region here in Mongolia. And another trend is synergy, as we see it, which means, we actually saw other companies as our competitors, or we have people we have to crush or something like that. But in this pandemic, we see it as an opportunity to merge, to work together, work with them more smarter, and open up or experiences, knowledges, and exchange knowledges. So we actually did a lot of synergies with our commercial banks, bigger banks, because they don't have any customers coming directly into them. So we have actually mortgage system here in Mongolia, but it's actually very limited. So we bring them potential buyers, potential sellers, and then the mortgage system is processed with the bigger banks. We have been working with non-banking corporations, the government also. So, we're actually doing a lot of merging, or you can, I think it's called synergy. So this is one of the big trend. I think Remax LLC does it really good. They work with Bouge, they work with different technology companies to boost their own value, right? To bring it up to next level. So that's actually what our goal is and trend here is.
Great, Samuel. Thank you very much. One thing that you told me, it's very impressive. I really believe that we lead our companies, but we are not boss. We are not, because in the end, our job is to serve our team, our network. I think this is another advantage of Remax, because we lead the company, but we are in the base of pyramid. The pyramid, it's in a different way. So I work for my region directors. I work for my brokers, and overall for my agents. And when I say my agents, it's not about my company, it's about my family. So this is about leadership. And this is one thing that it was very important when we have this mindset. This was very important in our company. So we lead, but we are not the boss. We just show the way. Sometimes they don't like the way. It's normal. We are not in fan club. We don't need a fan club. We don't need that the people love us. We just need people that respect our leadership, but overall that they understand that we work for them success. That's very important in my opinion. Thank you, Tamul. Now, Egypt, Mr. Khaled. It's with you, my friend. The trends that you see from now on.
All right. The trends, I would fully agree with my friends Donatien and Tamulen here that actually Remax is becoming a trend. The Remax business model, obviously in the US and in Canada, is probably more of a usual business model where so many companies have adopted decades ago. But across so many other countries, the Remax business model is fairly new. Middle of the pandemic, actually, back in May, I received a message from the owner of one of the competing companies in the market. And he sent a message and saying, this is the time where Remax has proven that the business model works. because most other companies have suffered severely because of their heavy overheads, while we, as a company, our business model made us survive and actually pass this stage and took on growth after critical 3 months of this pandemic situation. So which made us, as well as a company, put very aggressive targets on growth for 2021, because we've seen so many other companies, so many other competitors actually throughout this situation crash and close their businesses. And we're just looking at so many companies to be rolled into our brand, as well as so many agents to join our company and enjoy the benefits and the tools and the power of our company and our brand. Other trends, let's if we talk about the real estate trends, I think this pandemic situation, it kind of put like a fast forward. It's as if we just pushed fast forward button on the future. And I think the pandemic situation also made older people and older thinking companies think younger. And what I mean by that, the pandemic situation, because it had hit the whole world and everybody's income has dropped, everybody's communication or interaction, let's say physical interaction level, has dropped significantly. So more people are looking into becoming lighter on liabilities, and also easier in communication. So if we look at companies, for instance, a lot of the companies now have not only slowed down on travel, as also I think Sergio was mentioning, you know, the cut down on travel and the typical things that we used to do before the pandemic in order to do business, but also a lot of companies have started considering cutting down on office spaces, because now with enforced technology on any industry, companies are looking into reducing also their costs and working efficiently using technology, despite the fact that technology, like, for instance, something like Zoom, we Zoom for many years, but people's culture were kind of resisting technology. The way people were doing business was resisting technology. But as soon as we were hit with this COVID-19 situation, a platform was enforced on everyone. So now it made companies look at niche differently. So now it is creating actually an opportunity for a company like us to work with more and more customers to help them move spaces or change spaces to more efficient spaces. But the trend would probably be going towards lighter, smaller spaces. Similar for individual customers who are looking to buy or invest. Again, customers have been impacted significantly in their income. Banks will be holding they'll be more conservative on amounts to issue in mortgages in countries that are mortgage dependent. And this means that customers, individuals will go for smaller units, and investors will go for lighter investments that are easily where they can easily offload in the future. So we don't believe that typical investments and typical purchases that were more of the bigger size tickets will flourish in the next while. I think it's just the smaller tickets and investments, smaller sized homes will probably be more of what we see in the market in the next while. Obviously, technology, as my friends mentioned, has been enforced significantly on everyone. that means our agents, our offices must adopt technology, whether they like it or not. They must adopt technology. I remember, maybe I've heard this from Mike Reagan one time, and he said, technology will not replace agents, but agents who don't adopt technology will be replaced. And this is a very powerful statement that every agent, every office owner must seriously consider, that if they do not adopt technology, they will be replaced. Even I look at older generation that was not really into technology, their 60s, people in their 70s and their 80s even, they are using more technology now because, again, they still want to carry on with their usual habits, daily habits. And because of the lockdown, because of the physical restrictions we all have, even older people have started thinking younger and started acting younger. So, so technology is not just about younger people. Obviously, younger people, they come with the newer ideas and they capitalize on situations like that to build better future for all of us. But what I want to say, the pandemic situation has pushed a fast forward button to all the society in every country, that they need to adopt more technology, which means consumers also will expect much faster response from real estate agents. Agents will no longer be given the leeway to respond after 48 hours. And some agents actually, they take pride in how fast they respond when they respond after 2 days. Today, if you order an Uber and you look that the Uber car is gonna come in 8 minutes, most likely you're gonna cancel the order. And that's what everybody needs to seriously consider, that now with the technology that is available for everybody, people are becoming more, the expectations on response have become more and more higher at the moment.
Great, Khaled. Thank you very much, my friend. So before Mike talks, I would like to ask for you that is watching our Real Estate World Connection. Please put the name of your office if you are a Remax office, and put how many people are watching with you. Like, for example, I know that Totti from Minas Gerais, Zona da Mata, he is with 3 people. So you put Regional Minas Gerais, 3 people. Just for we count how many people, because we have more than 1,000 connections, but we have a lot of people that they are together. So I would like that you put the number of people that is watching with you, just in the comments of YouTube. So, Mr. Mike Reagan, trends from now on.
Yes, thank you. And I again, as I mentioned, I'm honored to be on with this panel, but your audience has heard incredible insight and wonderful ideas. And as you can see with all of our speakers, there is a focus on how you adopt and adapt to the technology tools that are available in our business. I'm going to go through a couple quick areas here, but obviously we're moving to a paperless environment. When I started working at home in March, I thought, how can I live without a printer? And honestly, I have printed and signed about 4 documents that governments required a wet signature, if you will. But the world is paperless. It's for sure. It's going to move that way. But I think just touching on education again, there were many real estate professionals that stayed on the sidelines during the pandemic. And what we heard from not only Remax folks, but our great leaders that provided education to the entire marketplace for Remax and non-Remax agents to take advantage, to develop new professional skills. And I think this trend will continue, is what do you have in your portfolio? Professional designations, management training, just life training, if you will. There are many real estate coaches available. But certification programs are so important because it puts you in a new network that you can learn from. One of the wonderful stories I like to share is I heard from a broker in Chicago area, and very successful RE/MAX broker. But when the pandemic started, every Saturday, he opened up his home and his backyard, of course, socially distant, for people just to come by and grab a lunch, a hamburger, or hot dog, whatever it might be. And he did it very safely. And he never mentioned what business he was in. But he built trust with these families over the few months went by, and all of a sudden somebody said, "Now, what do you do?" And he said, "Well, I help families find a dream home." And this opened up probably several years worth of business for he and his agents because he was involved in the community. And I think that's so important that we learn how to deliver value at every level of every relationship we're involved with. And that sounds like a simple task, but I challenge people to look at yourself. How do you come across to your family, your friends, and not just about your profession, but all of us have that dream of home ownership and building wealth through real estate. And we count on subject matter experts in the industry to be that guidance counselor. So I think really I would encourage you to focus on the experience that you deliver. Would it be good for you if you were on the other side, that type of thing. Another wonderful RE/MAX broker, Karan Stokes here in Denver, he did an amazing thing. Talk about a new trend. He reached out to all real estate agents. Then he said, "Hey, if you're going to be working in the Denver Tech Center market and you need an office or a cafe to stop by and have a coffee, or maybe check your email or something, my office is open and you are welcome just to come by and use one of our tables or conference room." I thought, what a brilliant idea, because one of the life lessons we've learned at RE/MAX is become their broker before you're their broker. So be visible in the marketplace. There's lots of ways to recruit, but I thought that was a wonderful idea. And be sensitive to a lot of other industries. The restaurant, hospitality, travel industry is going to be affected for a really long time. It's, we've changed how we, go out to eat and that sort of thing. But those workers, obviously huge unemployment in a lot of areas of the world. Be sensitive to that because they still have the dream of home ownership. We touched earlier about how important it is to be transparent. Listen to each customer's unique situation, because there are no standard rules and practices right now. One of the lines or the actual term that we like to use is co-opetition, because in the real estate business, one moment you're a fierce competitor with someone, and then the next day you're actually working with them on a deal. So be sensitive to that phrase, co-opetition, because it really drives not only agent growth, office growth, but how we are perceived in the marketplace. Because within the RE/MAX network, you're able to pick up the phone and give or receive a referral anywhere in the world, but your reputation comes first, and you want to be that person on the other end of the call. The other trend I think we'll see is to be hyper local, be a subject matter expert in your particular market. I think Sergio or someone mentioned this earlier, is people expectations today is they want a one-stop shop, and they do expect their real estate professional to be knowledgeable of electrical systems and appraisals and inspections and community. And, we have a thing called Nextdoor, which is a very transparent communication tool for neighborhoods. And I see realtors on there sharing information about how real estate helps to build wealth, or some tips and insight to the industry. And be adaptable. We talked about pivoting. I think that's a trend that's going to be incorporated into every aspect of our business. Temulin, you mentioned about the average age in Mongolia. In the US, the average age of all people is 38 years old. But we have two interesting dynamics. We have 75 million baby boomers, and we also have over 77 million millennials. And if you look at the millennials as the buyers of the future, they're getting married later. I think 28% still live at home with their parents. Family formation is coming later, but that group, that bubble, if you will, is coming. And so now they're entering into the home buying stage. I think one of the new trends that we see in real estate professionals is talking about how real estate helps people build wealth. It's not everything, but it's a component of future wealth building and planning for everyone, whether it's individuals or families or whatever it might be. You know, I go back to mention earlier on just fair housing. Be a proponent of fair housing at all aspects of the market. You know, one of the challenges that we're seeing here in the U.S. is there are still laws and policies that allow discrimination. But if you see something, say something. You know, it's what we learned after 9/11. If you see something that's out of place, do something about it. In the U.S., we have almost 400 RE/MAX agents that hold a leadership or an executive position in an industry, association, organization at the local, state, regional, and even national level. Those are the things that make differences in policies and regulatory issues. Be involved. Just quickly on a couple trends that we're seeing in commercial real estate. I know a few of you mentioned obviously huge opportunities in commercial. What we are seeing in terms of forecast is not only will companies be evaluating the type of space they have, the amount of space, but also how can that commercial space be transitioned into new entertainment centers, residential centers, and so on. But, and I think, you know, on the new topic of new construction, certainly builders are going to have to look at different floor plans to accommodate offices and entertainment and so on. But more importantly, I think families who traditionally have been forced to live close to work are now going to be able to choose where they live first and create their lifestyle priorities, if you will, and be able to work remote. I think that trend is certainly going to grow and continue. And that is a dynamic that is going to change, especially in the millennial age group. They're going to be able to choose lifestyle first and still be able to fulfill their job and their dreams of their career. Luxury, just closing out here, luxury buyers, they expect a concierge level service, you know, almost a 24/7 type of service for luxury buyers, and know those expectations because perhaps they're buying their third, fourth, fifth home, whatever it might be. So understand their lifestyle. And one thing I always like to share about RE/MAX is we have a culture of giving. And for many years, 28 years, we've supported Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And even this year alone, during the pandemic, projections of 6 to 8% drop in real estate, RE/MAX agents still step up. We have donated almost $2.5 million for children's hospitals here in the U.S., and many of our global leaders have programs to serve their community. And that need is there even greater now than before. But I'll leave you, time is here, but I'll leave you with a quote from Mr. Lindiger, the founder of RE/MAX. He said, "You cannot be successful tomorrow using yesterday's ideas and tools today." So I think that quote is the driving force behind how to adapt technology into your business. And again, thanks to our leaders for all the wonderful ideas. And I'll close with that, Peixoto.
That's amazing, Mike. Thank you very much. So you gave a lot of tips. So, let's respect our script and let's ask for tips. Let's move to final part of this event where we'll talk what are the main 3 tips for the agents and or brokers to be successful. Let's move on with Mr. Sergio Felgueres. You can be straight to the point. 3 tips.
Excellent. Well, first thing, I think it's time to learn and to experiment. You will never go wrong experimenting because you can always come back, right? So learn, keep training, as Mike said, experiment, and find whatever suits you in order to be more successful. Not everything will work for you, but you will not find what works for you unless you experiment and you try new things. The second thing I would say that once you have learned, share with others. I think sharing is one of the most powerful things that a realtor or any person can have. And it will actually give you a lot of business when you keep sharing. Now, if we're talking about technology, social media is a great place to share. So if you find a new tool, if you find a new way of getting customers, don't keep it for yourself, share it with others. And finally, I think that you need to be yourself. Now we have had a lot of time to reflect and to understand ourselves. And if you understand yourself and your business, also, you have to understand RE/MAX. You have to understand how you fit in RE/MAX. And that way, you will be able to make the right decisions and to use the best tools that work for you and your clients, because not every technology works for everyone. Maybe you have different clients. Maybe your way of doing things is different. So be yourself, use technology, but use technology that suits you, and keep on experimenting and learning new things.
Thank you, my friend Sergio. Donatian.
Yes, I will try to make it short. So 3 tips. Say first, stay focused on what you control and what you can change. Don't spend too much time on news or anything like that. There is a new normal, there is new rules. Just stay focused and work on what you can do better with these new rules. Second thing, do an exercise. Prepare yourself as if there will be another lockdown. I think it's a very good exercise. I hope it will not happen for sure lockdown, but it's a very good exercise to know if you are well organized. Are you able to work remotely? Do you have all the documentation, information, virtual tour on your listing? Or for a broker, are you able to manage your team from your home? Do you have everything to do that? If you have that, that means you are well organized and you can go to the next step. And last thing, but not for sure something important, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself first. That's not being selfish to do that. That's take care of yourself first to be fine and to be able to help others. And have in mind that when you're on an airplane, and we don't take a lot of airplane right now, but when we take airplane, the security rule is if there is a depression and the oxygen mask drops from the roof, even if there is a children just behind you, the rule is first take the mask and breathe in order to be fine. And then you can help others. If you try to help others and you are not fine, it could be dramatic. So help yourself, take care of yourself, and you will be able to take care of others.
Thank you, my friend. Temulin.
All right, I think they just said what I wrote down, basically the same thing. I just want to say, first, be humane, treat kindly. This is the best time to be more humane, help others, help people, help businesses, save businesses if you can. And by synergy, I mean that, help other businesses, become part of your business maybe. And, this is one of the strategy that we are trying to focus right now. Second, just as the nation said, focus this is one of the main thing for top producers and high achievers. They truly focus on, you know, what is, you know, right, and what makes you more productive, what makes you more successful. So you have to focus. As for us, you know, we don't see pandemic as a downfall. We see this as opportunity, a big opportunity for everyone to become, you know, a different person, or shed their skin, you know, make something great, or upgrade themselves. Third, you know, almost same, like, yeah, innovate, you know, have to innovate and just be positive about anything you do. There are people who are doing a lot worse than you know, at the same time. There are a lot of countries who are suffering from this coronavirus. So you have, you know, if you have plate on your table, food on your table, if you have, you know, a work that you can do right now from, you know, remotely or physically, that is really a thing to be, you know, grateful for. So be thankful, be positive, and that's my advice.
Thank you, Tamul. Khaleb.
I've got some advices here that are more probably business specific. Got 3-4 agents and 3-4 broker owners. I just want to say to the agents, first of all, as we spoke, need to adapt to technology. And if you don't use technology and use the best technology out there, you will be replaced by smarter or younger agents. The customers are getting smarter. They're getting more adopted to technology, and we have to all get used to technology as well. It's a great, second thing, it's a great chance with all this technology around to improve the way we display listings. Very important that our listings as a company, our agents, also their listings, they are always showcased and displayed in the best way out there to the customer. So make use of the development of new technologies to improve your listings and market listings in the best way possible. The third tip is the very old still style of working as an agent, that you have to remain a lead generation machine. If you generate leads, you're not in that business. You're gone. Either you're using technology or you're using traditional means of generating leads. You have to generate leads. Don't wait around waiting for customers to call on you. Don't be passive and just basically waiting for people to call just because you are afraid of the rejection. Still, this business will always be, your success of real estate agents will always be dependent on their possibility to go out, interrupt customers and talk to them and meet them and get to introduce themselves. For broker owners, I just want to say 3 things, really. This business is, your business is a high volume, low margin business. When we get into situations like COVID, the whole idea is that basically the margins drop and maybe the volume drop. And the only way you can pick up volume and improve and still sustain your sales is by increasing the number of your agents in order to at least manage and formula. So always keep in mind that this business is a high volume, low margin business. And when times are bad, you can balance it out by recruitment. And when times get better, you will find that your recruitment has paid off twice, because the income per agent is going to also increase, as well as the number of agents. Second thing is you always need to focus on the agents, train them, motivate them. Situations like these prove that your business is extremely sensitive to the emotions and trust that the agents put in your business. You need to always stick to your agents, stand by them, support them, help them. Always keep your hands open to your agents to be able to pull them out of challenges like these. And certainly keep financial goals and put the brakes on excessive expenses, because days like these will come by all the time.
Great, thank you, Caleb. Mr. Mike Reagan.
Wear your mask and stay healthy. That's the most important. You know, set a goal each day to do something for someone else and just make that a priority. You know, it could be something very small, something very major. I go back to being transparent, focus on listening, be in the moment with the individual that you're working with, whether it's a fellow agent, a peer in the industry, a consumer, customer, whatever it might be. But embrace technology, especially video. We cannot say how important it is to be visible in video, whether you like seeing yourself on camera or not. Use it, practice, watch yourself, but get it out there and be on video. But you know, the other thing, I think if you're looking to be in the real estate business, put yourself in a winning environment. You know, people want to be around winners. You play better golf with better golfers, you know, and one of the RE/MAX strategies, of course, for growth is to create a winning environment with the best tools, technologies, you know, leads, excuse me. But you're in that environment that's positive every day. You don't go and look around the room and you're, you know, with a group of folks that do 2 or 3 deals a year. You're with the most productive agents in the industry. And Peixoto, I want to close with this. I want to do a special congratulations for your leadership and the team at RE/MAX Brazil. Over 100 franchise sales this year, 745 agents year to date, representing a 24.3% growth, and you're closing in on 4,000 agents. So congratulations to the entire team at RE/MAX Brazil, and thanks to all of our panelists.
So everyone, thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Khaled. Thank you, Donatian. Thank you, Temul. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Shona Gilbert, our Vice President. Thank you, Jan Repa, our Area Vice President, Gustavo, everyone from RE/MAX LLC, everyone from 45 countries that attend this event, everyone from the RE/MAX Brazilian family. Thank you very much. Thank you for our other attendees that from another companies that attend this event. You are very welcome to our RE/MAX family. Thank you for all my RE/MAX Brazil team that worked hard to do this event, arrived very early, not like Mike Reagan that was waking up at 5 o'clock a.m.
That's okay. The global team here at LLC, we get up all hours of day and night to support you, so no problem.
But all my RE/MAX Brazil team, all the regional owners, all the brokers, and all the agents. So thank you very much. Thank you again for the commitment to do the better life for our clients. This is one thing that's very important. Our agents try to help hard every client, and this made a difference to RE/MAX Brazil. We had 3 haircuts in 3 months, so that's amazing. And thank you for all of you that is working with your heart and with your mind. Thank you very much, everyone. And in November, we will have the 3rd edition. Take care, be safe. Kisses in your heart. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.